Deep within the labyrinthine heart of the enemy's fortress, a silent war is being waged, not with bullets or blades, but with a creeping, insidious terror. Here, in the cold, sterile arteries of the ventilation system, a lone operative, codenamed Hot Pants, lies in wait. She is a ghost, a whisper in the machine, her presence concealed by a disguise so perfect it has become a second skin. The base below hums with a sterile, white light, a stark contrast to the sickly yellow glow illuminating her cramped metal prison. Claustrophobia is a constant companion, the walls pressing in, the air thick with the promise of discovery. But a far greater threat is now blooming from within. Her mission is simple: observe, report, and remain unseen. Her target, the mastermind of this entire operation, moves through the brightly lit corridors below, oblivious to the eyes watching him from the shadows. But the perfection of her disguise is proving to be her undoing. A slow-acting poison, a hidden failsafe she never anticipated, has been activated. It's not a fast, merciful agent, but a cruel, creeping decay. It started as a faint warmth against her cheek, a slight itch. Now it's a silent scream just beneath the surface of her fabricated face. The material of her disguise begins to bubble. Tiny, viscous pockets of air rise to the surface, distorting the flawless features she meticulously crafted. The synthetic skin, once smooth and seamless, begins to pucker and peel away like old paint. The process is visceral, a grotesque and painful transformation. Each bubble that bursts is a small, wet pop, a sound that feels thunderous in the suffocating silence of the vent. It's a sound that could betray her. It's a sound that could mean death. Panic, cold and sharp, lances through her. Her training screams at her to remain still, to control her breathing, but instinct is a powerful, primal force. Her ragged breaths are muffled behind the dissolving mask, each gasp a desperate attempt to draw in air that feels too thin, too metallic. Her heart hammers against her ribs, a frantic drumbeat against the low, industrial hum of the facility. She has to do something. She has to stop this. Her hands, gloved in the same volatile material, move with frantic, desperate stealth. She tries to press the peeling sections back into place, to smooth over the bubbling texture. But the material is slick, dissolving into a gooey, adhesive mess under her touch. The substance clings to her fingertips, stretching like hot cheese, refusing to cooperate. With every touch, she risks smearing the decay, making the damage even more obvious. The chemical reaction is not just cosmetic, it's painful. A burning sensation seeps through, attacking her real skin beneath. It feels like 1,000 tiny needles, a slow, agonizing fire consuming her face. The sickly yellow light of the single bulb above her casts long, distorted shadows, turning her small refuge into a chamber of horrors. It highlights the grotesque details of her decay, the way the light catches the wet, glistening surface of the melting material. The audio of this silent nightmare is a symphony of terror. The subtle, squelching sound of the dissolving disguise, the sharp, controlled intake of her breath, the faint, almost imperceptible scrape of her gloved hand against the synthetic flesh. It's an intimate, unnerving soundscape of a body in revolt. Down below, her target continues his rounds. He is a man of routine, his movements predictable. That predictability is her only advantage. She knows his path, she knows his timing. But her own body, or rather, the false body she wears, has become unpredictable, a ticking time bomb. She presses her cheek against the cold metal of the vent, the chill offering a brief, pathetic moment of relief from the burning. She can see a small puddle of the dissolved material beginning to form beneath her. If it drips, if a single drop falls to the polished floor below, it's over. She shifts her weight, a minuscule movement that feels like a seismic event. She needs a better angle, a way to patch the damage without making a sound. The texture of the mask is now completely alien. What was once smooth and uniform is now a landscape of craters and peeling ridges. She can feel the cool air of the vent on her real skin through the newly formed gaps. It's a terrifying reminder of her vulnerability. The disguise was her armor, and now that armor is melting away, exposing her to the enemy. She focuses on her breathing, trying to master the panic that threatens to overwhelm her. In, out, slow, measured breaths. She pictures her training, the endless hours spent in simulated high-stress scenarios. None of them prepared her for this. None of them simulated the feeling of your own face, dissolving while the man you were supposed to be observing is just a few feet away. She risks a glance down through the grate. The target is talking to a guard, his back momentarily turned. This is her chance. Working with the surgeon's precision born of pure desperation, she uses a small, flat tool from her kit. She carefully scrapes away the worst of the bubbling goo, trying to create a smoother surface. The substance is sticky and difficult to manage. It pulls and stretches, threatening to snap and make a noise. She works with a feverish intensity, her hands moving in a blur of controlled chaos. She applies a small patch of emergency sealant, a last-ditch effort to hold her face together. It's a temporary fix, a flimsy bandage on a mortal wound, but it might just be enough. It has to be enough. The patch holds for now. The bubbling slows in that one spot, but the decay is like a relentless tide. It finds new purchase, creeping up her neck, crawling over the back of her hands. She can feel it now, a cold, wet sensation spreading under her collar. There's no way to reach it, no way to stop it without revealing herself completely. She is trapped, a prisoner in her own dissolving skin. And then, the moment she has been dreading, the moment that crystallizes all her fears into a single heart-stopping reality. The target finishes his conversation. He turns, and he begins to walk directly towards her position. He is moving to the section of the corridor directly beneath her vent. There is nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. Any movement, any sound will be her death sentence. She freezes. Every muscle in her body locks into a state of absolute stillness. She stops breathing, holding the air in her lungs until they burn. She is a statue, a gargoyle of melting flesh perched in the darkness. The only thing that moves is the relentless poison. It continues its silent, gruesome work on her neck and hands, the material peeling away in wet, silent strips. Down below, the villain pauses. He looks up, not directly at her, but in a way that sends a shockwave of pure terror through her. Is he just stretching his neck? Or did he hear something? Did a drop of goo fall? Her eyes are wide, reflecting the sickly yellow light. They are a portrait of contained, primal fear. She is a hunter who has become the hunted, frozen in the predator's gaze. The seconds stretch into an eternity. He stands there, directly beneath her, close enough that she can see the fine details of his uniform, close enough to be discovered by the slightest mistake. The dissolving process accelerates on her exposed hands, the material sloughing off to reveal the pale skin beneath. She is forced to watch, to feel her disguise, her safety, her very identity melt away, all while remaining utterly, completely still. The mission is secondary now. Survival is everything. But survival requires a silence that feels impossible to maintain as her own face drips and decays in the suffocating darkness. The silence holds. He moves on. But the terror remains, etched onto her melting features, a silent scream in the heart of the enemy's den. Thanks for watching. Be sure to follow for the next part of the story.